Hester versus Reuben. All right, before we proceed, I guess just start with introductions. Mr. Hester, you are the petitioner on this matter?
Yes.
Okay.
It's hard to answer that question because it's been such a long time. So, in the very, very beginning that we first called what we thought would be a final hearing, I believe at that time I was the petitioner. But at this point now, there's been two or three kind of redos. So, it might be that now Miss Rubin is the petitioner. I'm really not sure.
Yeah, we're still filing into an old case.
Okay. Well, so we're here today on a motion to modify. Who is seeking to modify?
I am.
Okay, Miss Rubin. So you're the movant on the motion. And um, okay, that's fair. And do we think we need an hour for this hearing or?
Hopefully not. This is really a monetary issue having to do with changing the child support and the arrears attached to it with an OAG case that needs to be updated.
Okay.
In custody.
Yeah, the custody needs to be changed, and the child support needs to reflect those changes.
Okay. And has the Attorney General been notified of this hearing today?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And have you heard from them or had any contact?
I got a response back to my email saying that it was received, but
Okay. Let's see. Okay. And so it is, I guess, let me start with Miss Rubin. Is the motion to modify, is it agreed to between you and Mr. Hester?
yeah, it's been agreed to. There's no dispute in who has possession of the children at this point. He has our minor child, Vera Hester, with him in Florida. She's 11 years old. And I have her older sister, which is Lyra Hester. She's 16. She's been living with me in Oregon since March 19th of 2025. But the custody hasn't been changed to reflect that. So I'm in arrears for child
April.
support. April. Okay.
Yeah, April 12th, I believe.
Okay. All right. Let me ask Miss Lovelace. I guess if you have an update, I see that. Well, go ahead. Let me just turn it over to you.
So I was appointed. It was a hearing in Judge Deliato's court to talk to the girls, to investigate Miss Rubin's CVS case that she had out of, I believe, Brown County. And so this case is old. Case is about 2 years old. So at the time, both children were with dad, and I interviewed the kids. And at that time, the children did not want to live with their mom when I encountered the kids. And then, as you see, both parents moved. Hester went to Florida, and then mom went to Oregon. And now the children are with each respective parent. And so I did talk to CPS when this CVS case was going on. At that time, Miss Rubin, I think, was struggling to get away from the father of her youngest child. And so she started cooperating with CPS and worked the services, and she has that child. He's from a different father. But at first, Miss Rubin I think she was under a lot of stress. She didn't seem to be doing well, but the conversations I've had with her, she's in a much different place. I mean, she went to Oregon, she has her children, she worked those services, and she seemed to have gotten something from it. So I support their decision right now for each of them to have each child. I just would like to hear a plan from them, how they want to make sure these girls see each parent.
Okay. All right. Let me see. And have you submitted your agreement? Have you reduced your agreement to writing, Mr.?
No, Lyra Hester lived with me for 3 months in Brown County before CPS got involved and my children were removed from my home. At that time, I was still paying child support to Jesse. So there's a discrepancy in the amounts owed. He hasn't been willing to sign an agreed modification because he says that I owe him $900, which was the OAG child support case balance at the time when Lyra came to live with me. But I also paid child support to him for 3 months while Lyra resided with me in Brownwood. We didn't get a chance to modify the hearing at that time. And then, I was still in an abusive relationship. CPS got involved and removed the children from me. So there's a discrepancy and he is not willing to sign until that's cleared up. I have had money intercepted from me to satisfy those arrears, not once, but twice, because it happened at the same time. So I have arrears right now of over $6,000, almost totaling $7,000 plus interest. And I'm unemployed. I'm struggling right now. I'm child support, low income. Like I'm looking for a job. This money is really important to me. But I had my dad passed away in January and there was life insurance benefit that got intercepted. And then I filed my taxes and my tax return was intercepted as well. So I am trying to, you know, since Lyra's been living with me for the last year, I shouldn't owe anything, but that money has all been taken to give to the OAG and Jesse is wanting $900 of it before he's willing to sign an agreement.
Okay.
And I don't know what his current income is right now, and I'm struggling. That money means a lot to me.
Okay. All right. Let me, I guess, hear from Mr. Hester.
Okay. I mean, really, it's quite simple. When Lyra went to visit her mom on April 14th, it was exactly that. It was going to be a visit. And then I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks or so into the visit, she decided that she didn't want to come back, and she didn't come back. And yeah, at the time of when that took place, April 14th, the arrears were $908.50. Um, and so that's what I'm wanting, what I was owed on that day. Now, granted, I did continue to pay for a 3-bedroom apartment that would have given Lyra her own room. But I mean, it was for naught because she wasn't there. So that was kind of a huge unnecessary expense. So yeah, I'm not worried about the difference, like all of the rest of that money and any other arrears from beyond when Lyra left. I'm really not concerned about that, but I feel that I'm entitled to the money that I was owed the day that Lyra left.
Okay. Which is the 900?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't receive a box link. Somehow they had my wrong email address. I did email 2 attachments to Miss Seeger just a little bit ago when I got the Zoom link for the hearing, and I sent her an email, which is Lyra's attendance records for when she lived with me in 3 months in Brownwood in 2023 or 2024 while I was still on the hook for child support for those months. And those months were satisfied. I paid them, they've been paid for, even though Lyra was residing with me at the time. So at this point, I just feel like the money is moot. Like nobody owes anything, it's petty. I just want to be done with this.
Well, in 2019, she took the kids for an extended period of time, a couple months, at which time I continued to pay child support because I knew that they would be coming back. Actually, I wasn't sure if they were going to come back or not, but that's beside the point. I'm just saying extended visitations don't make it to where child support goes away.
She was attending school in Brownwood where I lived
Yes,
for
but
several
you
months.
did not legally have custody of her, and she wasn't there for
Just
long. She
because we
came right
didn't
back to
modify
me.
it and
Okay, I
CPS got
can,
involved.
only one person can speak at a time for the court reporter to get the record down. Okay. When, Miss Rubin, when did you file this modification?
I've tried filing it several times for one reason or another. The court hearing hasn't proceeded. The first time was because um,
Well, I
this
need
was
to
back
know
in.
when you filed a motion to modify.
Um, I don't remember the first time I filed it. I couldn't tell you. I think it was last summer.
Yeah, the last filing in this case is from the summer of 2024. A notice of designation and appearance of the guardian ad litem after the guardian ad litem was appointed.
Mhm.
I'm trying to determine, when did you file a motion to modify?
I'm not sure, but we weren't able to proceed because Stephanie hadn't been notified.
That's correct, Judge. I believe I wasn't properly noticed.
Okay, and that was the hearing in front of Judge Temple in January.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, but I'm still trying to find out, this file is a bit of a mess, when an actual modification was filed.
Let me look at the file.
Okay, it looks like it was 2020. No, this is an enforcement. It's not even, I'm not finding an actual modification. I found a counter petition in a suit to modify, but I don't actually find a motion to modify.
I think it got funny. It might have been out of Brown County because that's where my CPS case was. And I do remember Jesse having attended a Zoom through that because when they removed the kids from me. So it could have been there and then enforced through Travis. I really don't know. It's messy.
There was a CPS case out of Brown County because it ended up being a removal and then a conservatorship case. So she would have worked services out of that case. And that is what I recall when I got appointed, because that CBS case was still open at the time I was appointed.
There were temporary orders put in and no final ever made.
Okay, I found the petition to modify. It was from July of 2020.
Wow.
So 5 years later, we're having a hearing over it. Okay.
I haven't been on stable ground for a long time because I've spent the last 5 years trying to extract myself from a very bad relationship.
Okay. All right. I don't see anything in box for this hearing. So do you have any? Is there?
I didn't get the box link in time. They had a typo in my email. I emailed the two attachments I had to Miss Seeger just a little bit ago.
Yeah, but that's not what I'm
Oh,
I have the email with the attachments, such as
gotcha.
Um, none of them really, I'm looking for what is it you are after, like
Oh,
a
I did
proposed
send that in
order?
my announcement form, but then there was a different announcement form sent over, a newer one that Jesse made. So maybe you didn't receive the one with what I was asking for. I apologize. I didn't realize it wouldn't have made it over to you.
Yeah, an announcement form isn't
Oh,
what I'm looking at.
there was more about, yeah, there were pages.
Okay, well, so, all right, Miss Rubin, I guess I just need you to tell me exactly what it is you're asking the court to do and why.
Um, to modify the child-parent relationship to reflect what's already happening, which is Lyra. I have possession of Lyra. I don't want to really change visitation for either child. Jesse and I are able to kind of work that out. We have to, since we live in different states, to arrange visitations. So just we need to update the child parent relationship so it states that Lyra is living with him, or I'm sorry, Vera Hester is living with him, and Lyra Hester is living with me.
Okay. And when did Laura came to live with you in April?
April of 2025.
Okay. And you have been paying child support for her even though she's
Correct.
living. Okay, so
No,
you're wanting the court
no,
to
she has
stop.
not been paying child support.
No, but it was intercepted, so it's been satisfied. But I think the OAG held it because there was a hearing pending.
Okay. Okay. So, and Vera has been with Mr. Hester under the current orders, so that you're not requesting a change on that.
Correct.
Okay. And what do you have a schedule for the kids as far as holidays and visit?
No, I've tried to come and visit her, and I was told no. I tried to make arrangements to come and see her. She has come up here and visited me one time. I was able to afford to buy her a plane ticket to visit me. She stayed for several weeks. And then at one point, I had a long weekend off from work, and I tried to make arrangements to come and visit her, and I was denied.
Okay. So the order, you have an order that's in place.
Yes,
Is what you're telling me that neither you nor Mr. Hester are following that order?
correct.
But you're not here on an enforcement, you're only here on a modification.
Correct. I would like to have access to my child, but you know, I obviously can't afford to come and see her every other weekend as much as I would like to. But like now, I couldn't afford to if I wanted to. Um, so I don't know. I just have to hope that when I'm able, I am allowed.
Okay, so let me just see if I can confirm a couple of things. You're looking for the court to name you as the parent with the right to designate the primary residence for Laura.
Lyra, yes,
Okay, sorry.
it's okay.
Um, and Mr. Hester, he is the parent with the primary right to designate for Vera?
Yes.
Okay. And is your proposal for child support going forward is what?
I mean, I don't know his income, so I don't know if there's a disparity in income at all. We have a mentally ill, now this is a new circumstance. Our 21-year-old is unstable mentally. He lives with me as well. I take care of him now. He's in mental health hospital at the time. He's supposed to get out today or tomorrow. He's unable to work, and I am seeking to get medical power of attorney over him. So that's another child I'm caring for right now.
Okay, well, that
But
child isn't a part of this
deal with
case,
that later.
right? That child's not a part of this case.
Not today. This is a new development.
Okay. Well, and even if there is a case involving that child, it does not sound like it would be a Texas case.
He was named as on our prior custody or before he turned.
He's
But yeah.
aged out of the Texas case.
Yeah, he is aged out of it, actually, yes.
Okay. All right. And so you are unemployed and you have zero income at this point in time.
At this moment, yes.
Okay. So how are you supporting the child that's in your possession?
Right now, I had a little bit of money that I've made last from when my dad passed away. And I'm seeking a job. I'm trying to start my own business, but I need the money that was intercepted by the OAG to do so.
Well, the Attorney General's not here, so I'm not
Yeah.
going to be able to do anything as far as that piece of the case.
Yeah, how do I don't know how to go about that because there was an interception of funds to satisfy that. I've tried to notify them. I've contacted them and asked to do a case review, and I never heard anything back. I've tried a couple of times.
Okay. So they should be here, but they are not. And I don't know, they non-suited this case, I believe, a while back. So they non-suited the case in 2023.
I don't know. I don't understand what that means.
Meaning they are no longer a party to this case after
That's
2023. So
strange.
I can't give you legal advice, but I can tell you that I am not able to do anything with the Attorney General if they're not a party. They're not in front of me, and so I can't touch all the complaints that you have, and you keep calling it intercepted. I mean, I don't think that's the appropriate word, but when
That's the word on the letters I received.
okay, well, when you are a debtor, when you owe debts, the government finds out that you are getting money, whether it be insurance or a tax refund, they're entitled to that money. So
Mhm.
I'm just telling you, I cannot do anything about your complaints about the Attorney General without them being a party. So
Sure.
I'm not your lawyer. I can't give you legal advice, but I can tell you I am not able to address that matter without them being here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, that's just where we are. Okay. All right. Then let me hear from Mr. Hester. I guess if I need to hear about what we're going to do as far as child support moving forward.
Um, at one point we decided mutually, as I recall, that um, since she's got one kid and I would have another kid, that neither of us would owe each other anything. You know, we each take care of our respective child.
Okay, well, that doesn't sound like you have an agreement anymore. That's why we're in court. So I need to hear about what your income is on a monthly basis.
Yeah, it tends to vary. Um, let's see. Hmm. I would say on average I make about $4,500 a month.
Okay. And you have one minor child living with you, the other is living um, with Miss Rubin.
Correct.
And who is paying for the um, health insurance for the children?
Well, up to this point, or up until recently, Vera had been on Medicaid that her mom had set up for her in Texas. And I've been trying to figure out if it's possible to even transfer that, from Texas to Florida or what, how that even works. And if it doesn't work like that, then I'll have to figure it out on my own from there, I guess. I don't really know how it works in this kind of a unique scenario.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch the last part of that.
Oh, I was just saying I'm not really sure how it works in this type of scenario because, as I understand it, sometimes, or in like a normal case, the non-custodial parent has to take care of insurance for the kids that are in custody of the other parent. But since we each have one of the kids, I'm just not sure how it works.
Okay, well, it works how I say it's gonna work. That's how this goes. But I just need information from you to figure out what is going on. So neither child is on health insurance at this point in time?
Lyra has health insurance.
Okay. What is how does she have health insurance if you have no job?
She was on my health insurance from my job when I was employed, but now she has the state Medicaid here
Okay.
in Oregon.
And for Vera at the moment, if she needs care, if and when she needs care, I just pay out of pocket.
Okay. All right. Miss Lovelace, do you have anything else for the court on these issues as it relates to the modification?
Um, no, ma'am, Judge, I think that the arrangement they have with the kids, I'm okay with each party having the kids. I know that maybe finances are an issue and the kids, for sure should see each other or visit either parent, but past that, I had done what Judge Deliata wanted me to do. I had gone through the CPS records. I had talked to CPS. I had seen the children. And then the parents moved. Both parents went to different states. So at this time, I don't have much more to offer. Although the kids at that time did not want to see their mom, but it sounds like Miss Rubin has gotten herself together and she made some amends with the children.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'm going to take this under advisement, Miss Rubin. I'm going to study what you have put in front of me. I do think it is a problem that the Attorney General is not here. So much of what you're asking for involves them, and so that makes it difficult. We'll see what we can do with
Yeah.
what you
If
have.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I feel like if I just get a new modification that or something that reflects through the courts the dates that Lyra began residing with me, I could possibly submit that to them and have it handled that way.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I think I'm just going to have to take a closer look at what is being requested. We'll let you know if we need anything else from you.
Okay.
And Miss Lovelace, are you asking to be dismissed after the court enters the modification order?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate your patience in the virtual courtroom this morning. This case is under advisement. When a decision's been made, the court will notify the parties and we'll get an order entered on this one way or the other. Okay.
Yes,
Any
ma'am.
questions?
Yep. Thank you.
Judge.
Okay.
May
All
I be
right.
dismissed? Yes, ma'am.
And okay. Y'all are excused. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Sometimes, the hardest courtroom battles aren't about winning. They're about trying to rebuild a family that has already fallen apart. After years of legal disputes, two parents stood before a judge with one simple request: to update reality. One daughter now lived with her mother in Oregon, the other with her father in Florida. But the court orders and child support records still told a different story. The mother claimed she had overcome years of personal struggles, escaped an abusive relationship, and rebuilt her life. Yet despite caring for one of her daughters, thousands of dollars in child support debt continued to grow against her. The father didn't oppose the custody arrangement, but argued he was still owed unpaid support from the past. As the judge listened to both sides, it became clear this wasn't just about money. It was about broken trust, changing lives, and two parents trying to find stability for their children after years of uncertainty. With unanswered legal questions still remaining, the judge reserved the final decision, leaving one family to wait and hope that the next chapter would finally bring closure.